back. Honolulu Blues coming at you after an awesome 2023 regular season. We are here to recap a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about the Natty going on in just a little bit. We'll make sure everyone is off before then so you have plenty of time to chug a beer and get ready to watch Michigan kick some ass. We'll discuss a little bit about what's happening throughout the coaching staff of the Detroit Lions and possibly hit on some of the opponents we might see in 2024. So, without further ado, as I get all these links out to make sure everybody's watching, I wanted to ask you, because you are, along with Adam, but Adam's not here, our resident Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan State fan. I don't even follow Michigan. I did put one bet down today, and it was $2 that Blake Corum scores 3 touchdowns. So maybe that hits for like $15, I think is my win. Like, it is nothing. I just wanted something on this game, but I had no idea what to bet. So I was just like, 3 touchdowns, Blake Corum. That sounds fun. So that's about the extent of what I know about Michigan football. So I want to know, Julius, what is your expectations? What is, what will happen if the outcome is positive? What will happen if the outcome is negative? Does Jim Harbaugh come back? I kind of want to hear a little bit about Michigan from your side.
All right, buddy. Good to see you tonight. Go Blue. I'm under existential crisis right now as a Lions fan, double U of M Wolverine fan. This has been this whole season, everything, with all the scandals and everything going on with the sign stealing, and people has kind of been out for Harbaugh's head. A lot of people don't think he's coming back. He's going to take an NFL gig. Ever since like Ohio State, Penn State, Ohio State late in the season, as a Michigan fan personally, I've just been in for the ride for the team, for the players. Right? Like, I love this Michigan team. J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum. I love these players. I love these seniors. I love these coaches. Sharon Moore, Jesse Minter. I mean, it kind of reminds me of how much I love, it's like Detroit Lions light for me. Except they're in their Super Bowl. They're about to play their Super Bowl right now, which they haven't won since 1997. I feel like if Michigan loses this game as a Michigan fan, it'd be pretty disappointing, but it would not be anywhere near as disappointing if the Lions lose to the Rams next weekend. I mean, it's not even a comparable level.
Okay. Got you. So if Michigan, what's your prediction? I got to know.
Oh, I'm going to say Michigan 35, Washington 14. I think it's that Michigan is going to control the entire game. I don't think Washington is ready for Michigan. After what I saw, the Michigan
defensively, like Washington's not ready for Michigan defensively or offensively or both.
I think it's Michigan's defense that's going to catch Michael Penix and those wide receivers off guard. They're going to have to figure out somehow how to move the ball on the ground or either dink and dunk, because they can't just I'm sure they're not going to just Justin Jefferson, the Michigan defense, but I honestly believe that the Michigan defense is special, and they're going to show that today, more so than the Michigan offense this season. I think the Michigan defense is the main cast of the show. They're the glue that keeps it running all together. So I expect a big performance out of Michigan's defense today. And Michigan overall, I hope they blow them out. I predict they will blow them out. I doubt they will lose.
Right. So prediction: does Jim Harbaugh stay in Michigan? Say at Michigan.
My prediction on that is yes.
Okay.
Because if you can offer this man a lifetime $1 billion contract, you're always in the running.
It's true. That is very true. I would take the NFL.
He can go to the NFL for a year and come right back. It's a different nature.
It is. You're right. Does J.J. McCarthy come back?
I don't know. I believe it depends a lot on this game.
Okay.
If they take care of business and he has a big game, I can definitely see him taking the next step. It also depends on Harbaugh. If Harbaugh just ups and leaves, a lot of players are going to up and leave. It's going to be a different makeup. We'll see what happens. But J.J. McCarthy, if he does leave, he's definitely going to go late first round, early second at this point.
It's where I have him mocked right now, but I truly think McCarthy leaves. Again, I don't know anything about Michigan, so I don't know how this goes. And this is based off of him winning the championship this year. If they don't win, he will come back to Michigan, in my opinion. But if they win tonight, I think he leaves. I think he right now is projected second round, but I think he has a hell of a combine and pro day. I kind of bet he falls within the top 15 picks. I bet like he becomes a Atlanta Falcon or a Las Vegas Raider. Both of them just seem like they could make the splash move on McCarthy, especially if he outperforms Penix tonight. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Hopefully Blake Corum goes to the Senior Bowl, so I get to see him down there in Mobile in 20 days, 3 weeks. I cannot wait. But let's move on a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit about injuries, and that is Sam Laporta and Khalif Raymond. We just got word from Dan Campbell that said they have an outside chance of playing in the Super Wildcard weekend game versus the Los Angeles Rams. Where is your confidence level on both Sam Laporta and Khalif Raymond that they play this week?
1 to 10, 10 being the highest, it's like a 3.
I was hoping you were going to spread some positive to me. That's not what I wanted to hear.
Because I was just told that both of these guys were done, that their injuries were not catastrophic as full season wise, but if we were in the middle of the season, it'd keep them out anywhere from Sam Laporta 3 to 5 games. That doesn't sounds like he's going to miss the playoffs. He's weak. You can call that week to week all you want, but unless you do some remedial, put a brace on it, maybe have a couple injections at the pain site, that's the only way we're gonna see Laporta, have a Willis Reed performance against the Rams. If it's gonna have to be some miracle by divine creation, you know what I'm saying? Because this guy was just out for the season.
They need to inject him with a ton of steroids, dude. Whatever they need to do.
Mike's special stuff, secret stuff from Space Jam. Douse him with that, you know what I'm saying?
Put that on the board.
Give him like an hour-long pep talk, to try to fix his knee mentally. I don't know, bro.
Who are I can't even think right now. Who are the people that swing the watches to hypnotize you, whatever they are?
Oh, the damn hypnotists.
Hypnotists or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Let's hypnotize them and let's see if we can get them out there that way. We need them out there, but on the bright side, we did hear Dan Campbell say that Brock Wright, who is the backup tight end, is a lot better. Same with Jameson Williams. So we should have both of them back for the Super Wildcard weekend. Do you agree with the way Brad Holmes went about the starters this game? There was an opportunity to win the second seed. And in fact, for the first half of both the later games, Philadelphia and Dallas, they were right in the chance of actually getting that second seed. But at the time they had the shot, but they played the starters the entire game. And we saw Leaf go down. We saw Laporta go down. We saw Amon-Ra St. Brown get a knee to the ribs, went out for a play. We saw Brian Branch go down with the wrist injury, came back with a club on his hand. Do you agree? I mean, this was a spicy topic, and, there's definitely no wrong answer, I would say. But where do you sit on what side? Should we have played our starters the entire game, the first half, where we were winning 13-6 at halftime? Not at all. Where do you sit? I'll answer after.
Listen, that our chances of seeding was pissed away by the NFL referees and Brad Allen at the end of that Dallas Cowboy game. We were robbed of the second seed and we were robbed of the first seed in hindsight. It was too much of a risk with the starters, bro. It was too much of a risk. I was going through crazy, bro. I was like all kind of every snap I saw injury. I was paranoid. You can ask my wife and family. I was like, oh my God, Amon-Ra. He keeps poking his damn ribs. Is his ribs broken? Are they shattered under his pads right now? What is going on? Oh my God, Jared Goff got sacked. Did he just melt on the ground? Just all kind of players taking plays off, making faces in the cameras and stuff. I didn't even want to watch that game after the first half yesterday. I swear to God, I just wanted to turn it off and just go to the playoffs. You know, right away to the playoffs. I was just about to tweet out something about how lucky the Lions had been in that game, injury-wise, right before Sam Laporta got hurt, bro. Right before. I was just about to tweet it out on our page, Honolulu Blues. The Lions' injury luck is immaculate this season. You know what I'm saying? Remember the Packers and like all the Patriots? They used to have like injury luck better than other teams for like years and years. None of their main guys would get hurt to the point that it hurt their team. I thought that maybe the Lions have that this year, and they may very well still do. However, I wanted to see Hendon Hooker so bad, bro. I wanted to see Craig Reynolds so bad. Every snap we gave to Jahmyr Gibbs, my heart fell in my stomach. I wanted to see the third team defense. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. But I just didn't agree with playing them the whole game. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't agree with it. I mean, I understand we're going for the second seed. I understand. I do, Dan Campbell. I get it. But it ain't worth it. It is not worth it. It's damn near not worth it losing Sam Laporta. It's definitely not worth it losing Jared Goff or goddamn Amon-Ra St. Brown or Aiden Hutchinson. It's just not worth it, bro.
So agreed. And I was on that boat of I don't want to start the starters. I don't really want to play the starters at all, any of them. Especially to me, Jared Goff. Okay. I honestly wouldn't have been mad had we played every single starter. I didn't want Jared Goff in there, not because I wanted to see Teddy Bridgewater play against the Vikings, or not because I wanted to see Hendon Hooker and see what he can do, which I do want to see both of those. I think it would be too early for Hooker, but I just and like to preface, like if just by not playing your starter doesn't mean like you can't obviously just go sign 22 new players. Like some of your starters are going to have to play, right? But I thought like Sam Laporta was targeted 5 times in the first quarter. Okay, or maybe it was the first half, but like it was early in the second quarter. By the time he had at least 5 targets, 5 catches, James Mitchell should have got all those. James Mitchell should have been starting, and if you needed to bring Laporta in for a few plays for rotational, that's fine. Same thing with Hutchinson. Hutchinson shouldn't have been starting, and came in for a few plays. Like these guys were gonna play. I got that, but I thought the volume of the starters wasn't worth the outcome that you could have gotten, even if you got a guaranteed second home playoff game. You don't know if you'd make it to that second home playoff game. Okay. Like, let's just take what was in front of us, which was the 3rd seed, and keep everyone there. I tweeted out, healthy team is greater than the number 2 seed. That's what we want as a healthy team. And you're right. Like, I would have rather had Monty and Craig Reynolds run all day and let Gibbs rest up before he gets into the playoffs. Any injury to him, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Harrison Phillips got up on him with his knee straight on his ribs. That was scary. I would have rather seen Antoine Green. And if you're going to play these kind of backups, you can't have Goff in there, right? If you're going to have backup offensive linemen in, you can't have Goff in there. So I would have liked to see Teddy with these backups, not Hendon Hooker, because I don't want to see his first appearance with a bunch of backups, but I wanted to see backups starting, having starters suited up and ready to come in on certain plays and scheme, but this was more about showcasing what we have in our depth, in my opinion, than it was to showcase how gritty we are and how we don't back down from anyone, and it doesn't matter. Like, I get it. And the Niners played Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk, and they sat McCaffrey and Brock Purdy. That's kind of what I was thinking. Sit Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, Sam Laporta, and let James Mitchell and Brock Wright wasn't playing, but let James Mitchell run it, and then have either Kabinda be backup tight end, honestly, or just have Laporta come in for a few plays when Mitchell needed timeout. So I was very opposed to it. I tweeted out early, get the flipping starters out of the flipping game, because I just wasn't here for it. And then injuries started happening. Laporta, Leaf, Branch. And luckily Branch kind of came back, and hopefully he's good. Hopefully ASB is good. But it seems like we're out Leaf and Laporta, and I'm very sad about that because Laporta is a huge weapon to Goff. Now he'll utilize Brock Wright and James Mitchell, whoever plays at tight end, but it's just a little different, dude. Laporta had this connection with Goff, broke all these rookie tight end records. He's great. We lost one of our top 4 offensive skill players, and that's just really tough to do. I did tweet out, you think that you agree with this? If Laporta doesn't play, Dan Campbell should suit up, play tight end? You agree?
That's an awesome tweet, bro. I know. I most definitely agree. Even though I trust Brock Wright, it's just that he's not as dynamic as a route runner, and he's not even as dynamic as a run blocker, to be honest. Sam Laporta has just been awesome all around tight end.
Yes.
So,
and just to catch up real quick for my guy over here, Tyrani, or anyone else who's just jumping in, Brock Wright, Dan Campbell said Brock Wright was looking good to go. Same with Jameson Williams earlier today in his press conference. It seems like he'll be suiting up for this game, just so everyone knows. Just to
listen, I actually like Brock Wright.
Oh yeah, after that Jets touchdown last year, it was great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's clutch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do some tight end rollouts, some boots. We can do something with Brock Wright.
Yeah, we can. And we've wasted 15 minutes without talking about the elephant in the room, the thing that everyone wants to talk about, the maybe greatest script the NFL has ever written. And they perpetrated it very well to get this lined up. The first home game at Ford Field, or the first playoff game at Ford Field that will also include the Detroit Lions, because there was a Super Bowl back in the day there, is, of course, against Matthew Stafford. So no matter if we left Stafford on the team or we went away, the first home playoff game with Ford Field was guaranteed to have Matt Stafford in it. And here he comes. Kelly Stafford already posted his goodbye to Detroit, just to make everyone remember, on Instagram. This is crazy. This is what everyone kind of wanted. This is absolutely what non-Lions fans probably wanted. Everyone, even including the Rams, probably. Everyone wanted to see this matchup, and probably a lot of Lions fans wanted this matchup too. There's a lot to discuss on this, and we're not going to spend a whole heap of time because we're going to get out of this here show not too long. So I just want to know, how did you feel? Like, we have talked about what happens what if we play the Rams, this and that. Now that it's finally set in stone, Sunday, 8 p.m., Sunday primetime game. So that's going to be 4 a.m. your time? Oof, boy. What was your reaction? What did you think? Are you excited? Are you elated? Like, where are we at?
It's actually going to be close around this time for me, which is like 1, 2 in the morning. I think that game is at 8:30 actually, or is it 7:30? It's at 8 p.m. So it'll be at 2 in the morning for me. Yeah.
Okay, 2 in the morning. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Bro, I don't care, bro. I don't fucking care, bro. I am done caring. I don't care if they got a script out. I don't care if the refs and the NFL conspired to make this happen in that Dallas game, and we're really supposed to be the number 1 seed and not playing this weekend. I don't care. I don't care about the Rams. I'm not thinking about those 12 years of Matthew Stafford at all. To me, Matthew Stafford is the opposing quarterback we're going against this weekend. That's going to be a rabid home playoff environment, my friend. They are not going to be boosting and cheering. That stadium, Ford Field, is not going to be boosting and cheering Matthew Stafford alone.
Better not be.
It's going to be a hostile crowd towards Matthew Stafford and the entire Rams team, bro. Yep. Because we've come too far. Let's just say that. We've come too far, bro, to let some kind of sentimental with a former player who didn't win shit hold us back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hold us back, bro. I feel very strongly about this. I really do.
I love
bro,
it.
We should have there's no softness involved. Grit. We talk about grit and we talk about Detroit. This is where our toughness comes in. I believe Dan Campbell is going to have this team on the same wavelength. And I really hope that Aiden Hutchinson sacks Matthew Stafford like 6 times, break a playoff game record. And I really hope that we don't make this any kind of drama, that we come out. If we show up to play against the Rams at home at Ford Field in that environment, I believe we win by more than a possession.
Okay. So how do you think we compare? It's like Aaron Donald and Jared Goff is known historically and especially this year for being very, very mediocre to below mediocre under pressure. Okay. Given time, dude is elite. He ended the year with 2nd most passing yards, 4th most passing touchdowns. Like, the guy is great. But under pressure, it is very risky. It's not the Goff that we love. Okay. Are you worried? Or are you nervous about Aaron Donald breaking through that line?
I'm not. My biggest worry about the Rams is their receivers.
I was leading right into it. So fuck Aaron Donald. Let's go to the receivers. Okay.
Exactly.
What do you think about Stafford, the receivers,
block,
and our corners?
Yeah, we can block, right? We can give Jared Goff his time against the Rams. Most definitely, we can give Jared Goff his time. Jared Goff is an X factor. Jared Goff, as long as he is on the same angry wavelength that the rest of us are on, Jared Goff is going to be just fucking fine and get his revenge against his team. I guarantee it. As long as, I trust he is. I trust he is. Like I said, I'm more worried about those two receivers they got in Cup and Puka that's liable to have 400 yards through the air on us.
It's true.
Pretty worried about it.
Yeah, and you should be. I am as well. That's one of the big worries that I have. I do think their offensive line is very bad. And I think our defensive line can really get through with Aleem being healthy, Hutchinson really coming into his own. We can pressure Stafford, and Stafford is not a mobile quarterback. And what is our biggest bugaboo when playing a quarterback? It's if they're mobile, we can't stop them. But Stafford ain't mobile. Stafford is not mobile. So we keep him in the pocket. He's got a big arm. As long as our safeties, if he continues to do what he does and Kirby does, Stafford will throw some deep balls that are up for grabs. We have to come away with them. We are also going to let up quite a few yards. We are we're a good bend but don't break defense. This is what Patricia wanted, but we do bend. Like we commit to the run. We commit to run stopping, and that allows teams to pass very heavily on us. However, when you get into the red zone, you are not able to pass and open up the field as much. Thus, we really can hold our own there. And that's why I say after the first drive of each half, we have very good defense. But I'm also nervous. I am also nervous about Puka and Cooper. But I do like our chances in this game. We are the number 3 seed for a reason. And I don't want to spend too much time on this game. But my last question about it is, who do you trust Dan Campbell's coaching when it comes to Dan Campbell versus Sean McVay? Because Sean McVay is a very almost Bill Belichick type coach. He is very by the book, says in we're punting, we're field goal, and we're going to win this game point by point. Dan Campbell is we're going to win this game 4th down by 4th down, and it works. And we love Dan Campbell. We love him. We're ready for it. But are you confident in Dan Campbell? And this is a serious question. I don't want no fuck yeah, he's my coach, blah blah. I want to know how are you sure that Dan Campbell can get this win over Super Bowl winning head coach Sean McVay?
Yes. Okay. This is the thing about Dan Campbell, though. We just got to accept him for who he is. And who he is has got us 12 wins, really 13. See my title. Mm-hmm. But he's a gambler. However, strategy on strategy, scheme on scheme, coaching staff versus coaching staff, I trust him more than anybody. I trust him as much as Sean McVay. I don't think he is going to blow games like that. Now, some people has asked me, playing the starters in that Minnesota game, is that just another form of Dan Campbell where you can't trust him? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think that you can trust him. He's got his 12 wins. He turned his team around last year. He gets the very best out of his players. He has great assistance as far as it seems. I don't think you cannot trust him. I think that question is over with. I think we should stop asking, can we trust this guy? I think you can, because we got 12 wins to show for it.
That's true. I love that answer. I personally I'm a little nervous about Dan Campbell's coaching style in the playoffs. I think it's great in the regular season, but in the playoffs, I kind of want to be a little bit more by the book in points. But I'm not going to bash him by any means. He's my coach, and let's fucking run with him.
At least we ain't got to worry about him playing for overtime.
Yeah, well, we know we ain't doing that, dude. We going for it. I don't care if it's on the 35-yard line. We going for that 2-point to win. Let's keep it with coaching staffs, but move into the actual coaching staff of itself. We have a great offense coordinator in Ben Johnson, if you haven't heard. We also have in my opinion, a great defensive coordinator. Adam might disagree. Julius, you may disagree. And Aaron Glenn. Both of them have already been scheduled to do a virtual interview with the Washington Commanders. So I don't really want to know what your thoughts are on if they go to Washington or anything like that, because honestly, we shouldn't even really be talking about. But I do want to know, and I'm going to answer it myself. I'm going to answer first. What is your confidence? What is the probability, I should say, that they are no longer on the Detroit Lions coaching staff next year? Both of them. Now, again, I'll answer first, and I'll start with Aaron Glenn, who I think it is a 100% chance that he is back on the Detroit Lions coaching staff next year. I think he may get more interviews than just Washington. I believe he had 1, maybe 2 interviews last year with like Indy and Denver, if I'm not mistaken. But he is, this sucks to say, because of the Rooney Rule, he is, I think, on the short list to get interviews, but the long list, unfortunately, to get a head coaching job, which sucks. That's terrible. I just don't think there are a ton of black assistant or coordinators, I should say, that allow you to actually fulfill the Rooney Rule. And that sucks, but it is what it is. So that's where I think on Aaron Glenn. Before I let you answer, I'll also answer about Ben Johnson, who I think there is less than that. I think there is. I'm going to stick right now that there is a 50-50 chance that Ben Johnson is still the offensive coordinator with the Lions next year. One, because there is a possibility that Sheila Fordham again just throws the bag at him. We don't win the Super Bowl this year, and he comes back one more year for the whole kit and caboodle. That's it. Everything. We're putting it on the line there. Jared Goff's last year under contract. Ben Johnson comes back. Like, this is it. You know, before we have to start spending buku bucks on re-signing Sewell and Monty or whatever. I mean, whoever, you know, Decker and Ragnar and Hutchinson, all these guys are going to have to be getting contracts soon. I don't think Ben Johnson will be here for that. But I think next year we won't have to play out the ass to extend any of those guys just yet, except for maybe Goff. So because of that, along with the actual head coaching like vacancies that are out there, I don't think he wants to go to Carolina. I know that's where he's from, and everyone's like, but that's his home. I don't think anyone wants to head coach with David Tepper as the GM, or as the owner. That is a bad situation. Washington, very similar situation, as in I don't think a lot of people want to coach there. The Chargers is a good place for him to go to. The Falcons could be a good place, but they don't have a good quarterback. They're drafting like 10th or 11th. You're looking at like Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy. Maybe Jaden Daniels falls down that far, but I doubt it. Like it's not Bo Nix, maybe. Like your quarterback is going to be just as bad basically as Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke. So I don't think it's the best situation. So I think Ben Johnson stays one more year, sees what opens up next year. Let Washington and Carolina get a head coach for a couple year contract and see what opens up next year. So I'm going to give Ben Johnson a 50-50 chance, a 50% chance that he is back on the Lions, 100% chance Aaron Glenn is back. Long-winded, but Julius, what do you say?
I like your synopsis there, Nick, but honestly, Ben Johnson, I was prepared to say I was 100%. I 100% think he's going this year. Okay. I just think that the demand for what he does and his mode of coaching is just too strong. It's like a quarterback almost. Like a team that doesn't have a quarterback is comparable to a team that doesn't have a Ben Johnson. And there's a lot of those teams out there, and a lot of those teams are thirsty for that kind of coaching. And I just, especially if we win a playoff game, I just feels like it's a guarantee that either Carolina or one of these teams, Las Vegas, is just gonna nab them. Aaron Glenn on the other side. Now that's my 50-50 right there. And I think, like I said, I think it highly depends on this playoff performance. Like if we see a strong defensive game against the Rams, the Lions win their first playoff game at Ford Field, Aaron Glenn's name is going to be all over that. That's going to shoot up his stock. A lot of time the NFL coaching cycle is it's about the hot name. You know what I'm saying? The up and up, the trending down. And I just think Aaron Glenn is trending up. He just trends up slower than Ben Johnson. And he has hiccups where he trends down. But at this point, I think what he's done with this defense, especially with his group of cornerback threes he has, he just has like 6 cornerback threes to play with against the best receivers.
Cam Sutton too.
Against the best receivers in the league week in and week out, and it doesn't work. We're getting ate alive by these guys, and I'm sure Cooper Kupp is licking his chops, boy. I'm sure Puka is like, I'm about to have 250 on Cam Sutton's head. But Aaron Glenn does a good job with his safeties, with his front seven, making it all mesh, dialing up the right blitzes, and I think he's done a good job overall, and he deserves a head coaching job. Rooney Rule, which I don't think is the best way to go about hiring minority coaches who deserve a shot. I just think it holds everybody back, even Aaron Glenn and other minority coaches who deserve it. But overall, I like your idea that we can go for one more shot at this next season, bro. Like next year is like the big rising sun.
Yeah.
It's the year,
That's it. Like this was the year to get in. We got into the dance this year. We'll do a little dance and we'll get our form down. And next year is when we, get the dance off. And we gotta win, So we'll see. I know everyone's itching to get to that Michigan game. We have a few people still watching and listening. We appreciate that. I did want to bring up one more thing. Did you get a chance to look at No, I didn't want to bring that up. I'm sorry. I was going to bring up our rookies. Our 2023 regular season has ended. Sam Laporta shattered tight end rookie records. Jahmyr Gibbs with 10 touchdowns. We're the first team in NFL history to have, I thought it was 4, maybe 5 players score 10 plus touchdowns. Just amazing stats coming from this season. Overall, we're going to look now back. We had Brian Branch, but we also had a Broderick Martin. We had some picks high and some picks low. Overall draft grade and, review on all our rookies very quickly. What do you think about Brad Holmes' 2023 draft class? That included Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Broderick Martin, and a couple other guys I can't remember.
I'm going to go ahead and give this – I almost want to give it an A+. I'm going to give it an A. A solid A, not an A-, an A. Because anytime you get what seemingly seems to be 3 Pro Bowl rookies in the first 4 picks, you don't get no better than that, my friend.
You don't get no better than that.
You don't get no better than that, my friends.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the pride, baby.
2 of them were in the second round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was an amazing draft, especially the first 4 picks. And if Hendon Hooker ends up being anything more than a great backup, I might just switch it to an A+ down the line.
Hell yeah. I love that. What do you think I should do with this? Should I burn that? Do I need to, if we lose or win, do I just punt this over the moon? Like, do I just send this away? I feel bad.
Win or lose, you send it away, bro.
Yeah, I feel bad even owning it, dude. Like, it was cool when, like,
win or lose,
Rams, we never played
to the
them,
moon, bro.
I got to get rid of that, dude. Thank you all so much for listening. This was a great show. We don't care. We don't give nothing but the pride, baby. You don't give
nothing but the
pride. Appreciate y'all listening. We'll probably do a pregame show on Sunday for the Super Wildcard weekend. But for everyone still listening, go Blue. Go Michigan.
Go Blue.
Don't give nothing.